Welcome to Secretly Sporty. I'm your host, Sebastian Langdell, and I'm joined by my co-creator, Austin Rackles. Hey, Austin.
Hey, Sebastian. How's it going?
It is good. We are doing our second episode ever of Rest Day Radio.
We are. So I have a story for you.
Oh, what is it?
Do you remember in our first Rest Day Radio episode with Halima Marcus and Liam Billingham, Halima told the story about how she was on a really long, uphill bike ride. She was tired. There was a bystander. She sort of jokingly asked the bystander how much longer, and he was like, "You have a lot longer. You got to get on the level."
I do remember that.
Okay, so that story really stayed with me. And this past weekend, my husband and I were playing in a mixed doubles match. And we just started saying that to each other. You know, one of us made an error. It was like, we got to get on the level. Between
Yeah.
sets, we're like, we got to get on the level. And we won our match against people who are on paper ranked better than us. So I'm going to say that that phrase is magic.
I mean, I love it. Rest Day Radio is clearly off to a good start.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as you know, these rest day radios, these RDRs as we call them, often feature, as with Halima, someone that I've known for a little bit longer.
Yes.
Today, I'm really excited. We were talking to two of my favorite people, Thor Harris and Peggy Ghorbani, who are musicians as well as many other things. Peggy has been my acupuncturist for several years and is also just kind of acupuncturist and health guru to so much of the Austin creative community that I know.
They're our first musicians we've had on this show, so that's exciting in its own right.
Thor Harris has been the secret ingredient in a lot of my favorite albums. He's a percussionist and drummer. He's recorded with Devendra Banhart, Bill Callahan, Shearwater, Swans, and Peggy and Thor. They are in a band together, Thor Friends.
Thor Friends is more of an experimental band, and just hearing how they talk about song construction and collaboration was really interesting. And then the overlap also with how they work out.
Yeah. And it's funny, like both Peggy and Thor epitomize Austin for me. When I moved to Austin the first time in 2007, I had been living in England just before, and I'd been listening to this Bill Callahan album as Smog called A River Ain't Too Much to Love, which is all about him moving to Austin. That album kind of served to kind of soundtrack my transition. And I don't know, as luck would have it, one of the first people I met was, my friend Travis Weller, who plays fiddle on that record, and Thor plays percussion on that record. Both people just kind of like embody Austin to me, as does Peggy. So this is a little like dip into what I would say is, one of my very favorite creative communities in Austin.
I mean, I have only spent very little time in Austin.
For someone whose name is Austin.
It's Austin with an E. It's too confusing. It's why I can't
totally different.
spend more
Sorry.
time. Yeah. But as someone who doesn't live in Austin, I really enjoyed learning more about that community and sort of seeing it and just your interaction with them.
Yeah.
One thing we should also mention is Rest Day Radio. Those episodes are released full video. So you can go check out the video. And there's a little bonus in this episode if you do, because they have quite the menagerie of pets. I believe they said they have 4 dogs and 4 cats.
Yeah.
And one of their cats makes a prolonged appearance. Her name is Sister.
That's Sister. Yeah.
And if you want to see Sister, you got to check out the video.
These are the rare video episode. It's worth checking it out.
Should we get into it?
Let's get into it. Here's Rest Day Radio with Peggy Ghorbani and Thor Harris. Thank you so much for joining us. It's great to see you both.
You too.
Hi, Sebastian.
Hey, we like to start by asking you about your most recent workout. So could you tell us a little bit about what you did and how it went?
Hit it.
Okay, I went last night. I went to Pure Yoga Fitness, which is a hot yoga studio. And I like to go to these classes there that are sort of like silly, disco, mat Pilates, and I love them.
Awesome.
It's remade Peg's life. And my workout was just this morning, and every day, it's the same every day, about 6 days a week. Once in a while, I take 1 day a week off, but sometimes I don't even take that off. I ride my bike 3.5 miles to the YMCA That's the main part of the workout, the bike ride. But then I do like a 40-minute weightlifting workout at the gym. And then I ride home.
Are you an early riser?
We get up at 5:30 or 6.
So what does the gym routine look like when you're at the Y?
Because I've been lifting weights since I was 15,
Mm.
and I sort of based it on Arnold Schwarzenegger's one of his early books.
Yeah.
So I do a major body muscle group probably twice a week. I do each major muscle group. One day I'll do shoulders and triceps, and then one day I'll do back and biceps because those are kind of related. Chin ups kind of wake up your biceps, and they're a good back exercise. Shoulder presses are also a decent tricep exercise. So those are sort of related. But I do like to mix it up. But that's what I've been doing lately. And then today I did legs, which I have a lot to rant about leg workouts because I had 30 years of knee pain.
Oh no.
And I'm a plumber, and I was whining about my knee pain while I was doing the plumbing job at a cool restaurant called Community Garden.
Mhm.
And the guy said, "Well, do you know about the knees over toes guy?" And I said, "No." So I started following this guy, Knees Over Toes, on Instagram. His thing is all about walking backward.
Mm.
I didn't think it would work. I had no faith in that doing anything to help my knee pain. But that was 2 years ago, and I have almost never any knee pain. So I walk backward on a treadmill every day for 5 minutes. And then, like today, I did squats, leg extensions, and leg curls. And that's the extent of my leg workout. So it's not a lot, but I'm 60 and I still feel pretty strong.
I always see people walking backwards on the treadmills at the gym.
You do?
And I think they are next level. Like they know something I don't know. And
Well, now you know.
They have
Yeah.
knee pain,
there it is.
or they had knee pain.
Peggy, what would a perfect kind of like fitness week look like for you?
You know, I used to go to the Y with Thor, but about a year and a half ago, I got a pass at that yoga studio, and you can go unlimited.
Mhm.
So most days a week, I'll go to either a hot yoga class or a mat Pilates class or like a weights class. And I think 5, 6 days a week is good
Mhm.
for me. Perfect. Yeah.
So you're both like working out 6 days a week.
We're
Yeah.
both very mentally ill, and so we're like
Yeah.
one of those working breeds
really-
of dogs that has to have a job all
Yeah.
the time, or they eat their own feet off.
We both look kind of buffed, but it's really just a side effect of our mental illness. It's a sure sign that something is not quite right upstairs.
Same with being a musician.
Yeah.
These are good outlets, considering the alternatives.
Yeah.
Like these
Yeah.
are good
Yeah.
outlets.
Mhm.
When did that click for you that exercise or working out would be the way to cope with any kind of mental health struggles?
Exactly when I was 15. And I didn't know that I had mental health struggles. That would have been 1975. And we just didn't talk about this kind of stuff that much back then. My dad had died 5 years earlier. I didn't ever see a counselor or therapist or anything. I didn't have anything to compare it to, but I knew that I felt kind of awful all the time. But then I got a job as a roofer.
Mhm.
And then I figured out that girls like guys with muscles. And so I was like, well, I'm just this like schlubby, kind of pudgy white guy. Maybe I better do this muscle thing.
Mm.
And so I just started doing, after my punishing roofing job, I remember it was like 4 sets of 25 push-ups. I think I would do them every day. I don't think I knew anything about like taking days off or something like that. But
Puberty is very powerful.
puberty, yeah. I was just like, that was when testosterone was coming in for a landing. I was getting all hairy and weird and thinking about sex constantly. Well, that started when I was like 11 or so.
That's a different podcast, honey.
Different podcast. So I started doing that. I started
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
yeah, doing push-ups and stuff, and that I could it changed my brain chemistry. I didn't know I didn't know anything about serotonin.
Mm,
Um but I felt different. So I kept doing it, and I kept doing more and more and more, and then I got a set of weights,
mm,
and then I got two of Arnold's books, instructional books, and started doing things the way Arnold told me to. Then I got a workout buddy, this guy. We're still friends. His name's Terrence. I guess we were both about 15 or 16. And girls did like me more with muscles. Like I remember
mhm.
going back to school, and
It checks out.
girls liked me. Yeah.
Peggy, how about you? Like, can you give us a little glimpse of your kind of exercise history?
It's so funny. I never exercised once until I was in my mid-20s. I just smoked cigarettes and drank Dr. Pepper. And then my neighbor, I lived in a duplex. My neighbor was a runner, and she took me with her. And we were on Town Lake. I didn't make it 3 steps. I was like, this is ridiculous. This is impossible. And then slowly, slowly became a runner.
What neighbor?
Her name was Michelle. Hi, Michelle. And then I found Ashtanga yoga. But the reason I liked it was not the yoga. I found out it was the teacher. She was like this grandmotherly teacher.
Hmm.
And the way she taught Ashtanga yoga was very unconventional. Like she gave you a neck massage at the end and some sweet tea, and it was very nice. And when she retired, I went to an Ashtanga yoga class because I thought I hated it. It was like Navy SEALs yoga. It was horrible.
Wow.
But now I like really intense yoga again. So I
I
don't.
don't even know what Peg's yoga classes are like. I've only been to gentle yoga.
Well, I would never take him because he's very heat intolerant. He can like go to Siberia in jorts, but he cannot handle, 100-degree. I don't think he would like it.
How does Austin work for you with the heat
Not well.
intolerance, Thor?
Man, it's not that good. And
He
this
just
is
goes away every summer.
when I was younger and I was touring all the time with bands, I would just say to my bands, please try to tour in the summer. I need to get out of here. And another thing, taking antidepressants makes you less heat tolerant.
Mhm.
Mm,
And I take antidepressants, so I'm even less heat tolerant. So it's hard. I do construction. That's my day job, is that I do electrical and plumbing still. So I just cope
Yeah.
and grumble a lot.
yeah.
It's hard because I love this city. I love so many people here, but it's getting hotter and I'm getting older and less heat tolerant.
You probably know this. So our mutual friend, Travis Weller, in the summertime, will take ice baths. We'll just like pour bags of ice into the bathtub or go to
Yeah.
Barton Springs, obviously, which is like the natural solution.
We love him. We play music with him.
Of course, in Thor and
Yes.
Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we talk about Thor and Friends, I was just going to say, Peggy, in my 20s, it was actually Ashtanga yoga that also kind of woke me up to exercise.
Yeah.
I had never tried Ashtanga yoga before, and I loved how it just completely kicked your butt and like kind of
Yeah.
like wore you down.
Yeah.
And that was never what I had thought of as yoga. I'd say that was like my first exercise love was Ashtanga
Mhm.
yoga for a lot of the same reasons.
It's kind of beautiful because the form stays the same. So you can sort of kind of quietly witness how you change. Your mind changes. Like from class to class, your body changes and what it can and can't do. And when I went
Mm.
back to yoga, at this Pure Yoga fitness studio, which is like sort of a Bikram offshoot.
Mhm.
They don't call it Bikram anymore because he's, a sex pest. So they just
Oh,
call it
okay.
hot yoga now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the same where it's like a dance routine. It's always the same. It's very quiet, except for like quiet instruction.
Mhm.
When I was going back to it, I'd just been through like a very hard spell taking care of my mom who had dementia. And she had just entered memory care. So I had a little bit more time for myself. It was my first thing to sort of do for myself after years of kind of caregiving.
Mm.
It was so nice to go somewhere and be in community, but sort of, not need to talk
Yeah.
and to go through this like very vigorous routine that was intense enough so that it turns your mind off so you can't ruminate and exhausts you enough so that you're not so, neurotic.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful. It's like a dance.
Can you think of any especially kind of euphoric yoga moments, like where you've just broken through some kind of euphoric plane?
I think a lot of times for me, it's when I'm feeling something I haven't felt in a long time. Like I remember
Mm,
my first yoga classes back, I was just like, oh, I have a body. I have, an identity outside of just, caregiving. I have, community.
mm,
And then when I sort of switched over, I accidentally, instead of going to the regular yoga class, went to one of these like wild flashing light disco music mat Pilates classes.
yeah.
And it was so playful and so like different. It was so wonderful. I feel like I need to write those teachers a thank you card. It was like the first time I'd really felt dopamine in memory. It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
I love, yeah, stumbling upon classes like that where you think it might be one thing, it's totally
Hmm.
another thing, and you wouldn't have gone to it, but you end up loving it. I did
Yeah.
that, maybe about a year ago, went to a class at my gym that was meant to be some kind of like hit class, like high intensity
Uh-huh.
training class. And apparently everyone else who had shown up for this class knew that that was just code for it was just going to be like constant dance party the whole time. Um, I was also the only guy in the class.
Oh, this
But I
is
stayed
perfect.
and I loved it. And I was doing an awful job at all the moves. But it was amazing. And yeah, I kind of like that.
I love it. We need that.
Yeah, I'm certainly open to my path to fitness
Yeah.
changing. I want to try some other things.
What's kind of on the list?
I don't know. What you just described sounds so fun.
Yeah.
Well, we'll all go. We'll all go sometime. You both play in Thor Friends. How long have you been playing music together?
We started dating in 2014
Yeah. And
and we started playing music together in, was it 2015?
2015.
Yeah.
I was on tour like half the time with Swans back when Peg and I met and got together, which was an interesting, cool way to do courtship because I was gone half the time.
Mm.
It really extended that honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The love
And then
drugs.
after playing in Swans for 5 or 6 years, I wanted to make music. I wanted to make quiet, twinkly, pretty music that was really repetitive and didn't have verses and choruses, didn't have uh, song structure in that way. Not that Swans is a particularly traditional song structure kind of group, but I wanted to get away from the whole anything that looked or was based on blues or rock or I didn't know this, but I wanted to make music that was based more on like the modern classical minimalists. I knew that I loved them. And then my friend gave me a marimba. So it
Mm.
just sort of happened. Peg and I just started making up little melodies that would go on top of each other and intertwine
But
and
the
then
first show, there were no songs.
yeah, the first show
It
there
was
was
supposed
it
to
was
be a
just like
solo set.
here's this yeah, it was supposed to be a solo set, but I was back then I was terrified of solo sets. So I'd get people to join me. And because people were asking me, "Hey, you want to do a solo set?" And who was I to say no? There were no songs, and that's sort of still true in Thor and Friends. They're just sort of ideas, and now we have like, okay, we're gonna see how this goes. We're all gonna play this, and then there'll be this cue, and we'll go to this other part. So there's a little bit more structure now, but it's still pretty open to interpretation in the moment live.
Hmm. And musicians that play with us really love that because Thor is just very open and trusting, and they can be like playful and creative. And I was just remembering that first show that we played. I had never even played on a marimba before. I had only ever played kit drums. I didn't
Mhm.
know what the keys were, the notes were. I don't know what we were doing. And the only reason I think I agreed is because I was so drunk on those love drugs.
And I knew
Because I'm such a coward.
and I
I
knew that
would never do that now.
I knew that if Peg was doing something and this violin player, Violinda,
Oh,
was,
yeah,
I
she's
knew
great.
that I could kind of mostly carry it and it would be fine. And I think it was. I don't know what those shows sounded like. Probably pretty strange, but, interesting, no doubt.
But it evolved so organically. It was really beautiful to watch, and only because he's such an open person.
Yeah, I'm not a control freak at all. And I'm not visionary. Like, I don't have some vision, well, I might of how a piece of music could turn out, but if I'm wrong, that's certainly okay. I'm more and more in the school of like, well, I like this. Someone keep playing this. Oh,
Yeah.
and I think this would sound cool over it. And the way it works nowadays, since the pandemic, I learned Logic, the recording program.
Hmm.
I make a recording where I'm playing a whole bunch of different instruments, and it might be 10 minutes long. Then I send it to the other members of Thor and Friends and just tell them, here's my basic sketch of what this piece could be.
Mm.
And then they're welcome to add melodies or whatever they want.
Mm.
And it evolves as we play out.
Yeah, as
Every
we play.
show is
That was
different.
a thing I learned in Swans. You don't want to play the pieces that you've recorded years ago, and we're sort of workshopping pieces in live.
Mhm.
Can you talk a little bit about how that differs as a musician? I mean, it sounds like in some other projects that you've been part of, you're working more within traditional song structures, and so you know what's coming. Maybe you don't know what's coming so much with that Thor and Friends song.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
get surprised sometimes. Sometimes I mess up because I hear something so cool.
Yeah.
It just makes me
yeah.
like stop.
And
'Cause
with a
I'm just
band, like now there are like 10 or 12 of us, sometimes even more live. And then sometimes somebody really crucial can't make it. So you get to hear when it's sort of stripped down
Mm.
or when it's extra big. Like I play a lot less when it's extra huge. Like we have played these 3 or 4 pieces for several years, and because the personnel's always changing, and those
Hmm.
pieces, if we have a 40-minute set or a 1-hour set, the length of those pieces is changing.
we're about to start a whole new cycle because we
Yeah.
applied for a grant to record a new album and it would be live in a church. So we
Awesome.
have to write all those songs and play out 30 times before we feel good about doing that. Before
Yeah.
I feel good about doing that.
I like the phrase that you use, skyward repetition, in describing kind of like how the music sounds and feels.
I loved disco and trance music, and I've long been a huge fan of endless repetition.
There's something hypnotic about it, but also something, for me listening to it, meditative and sometimes healing feeling as well. Is that something that you think about?
It is something I think about, and like about um I guess about maybe 10 years ago when I started Thor and Friends, I started to think, well, I'm not an entertainer. I'm not a front man. I've been like a drummer in rock and pop and soul bands, and
Mm.
I thought I'm doing music as sort of spiritual practice. And there is a huge long history of music as spiritual practice. And I think that's what Thor and Friends is.
And the name of the last album is Heathen Spirituals, right? Which has that
Yeah.
kind of skyward feeling too.
Yeah. I also like more recently I've adapted this sort of attitude that really this music is for the people in that are in the ensemble. And if
Mm.
it happens to offer something to a listener, that's fantastic. But really my main goal is to make a thing where musicians of all different levels, some can read, some can't read, some are have degrees, and some, like myself, dropped out of music school,
Mhm.
feel welcome and feel like what they do matters and is a valuable contribution.
Well, it's like, the band in it of itself is is community building, and then
Yeah.
the shows are community building.
Mhm.
We're all sort of tapped into that same thing. There's maybe something about like how the repetition can sort of turn off that neurotic part of your mind, the same way
Mm.
we were talking about the styles of yoga we like that are always the same do that, You're going through a cycle and it sort of takes part of you out of it so that,
Mhm.
maybe you can feel a little bit more instead of thinking all the time.
when you're exercising, both of you, do you find ideas tend to come when you're exercising, or is it kind of the opposite? Is it a time to just shut off the thought stream usually?
Ideas do come to me when I'm running. Well, I think when I'm doing exercise and especially running, which I don't really do that much at home, but they do. And then I have to do voice memos on my phone to save them.
That's cool. Running gives you sort of a blank slate.
Mm-hmm.
You can imagine things coming up, ideas.
Yeah.
The kind of exercise I've been doing lately, it's more about like, shaking the etch-a-sketch, like clearing things off. And it probably makes my mind more likely to have better ideas later, but not in the moment.
I thought about this podcast for several weeks before I knew we were doing it. And I've toured with people who had no connection with exercise. And I don't know how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
I can think back to high school. I was always a musician in high school and college, and those were the people I hung out with. And those types of groups were very divorced from like the athletes.
Yeah.
And I guess Thor, you started weightlifting in high school. I think for other people, maybe like, I don't know, you just don't feel like that's your zone or something like that if you're a creative type.
Like if you weren't a jock, you're not a jock.
I do remember like me and Terrence would work out in the weight room. I didn't feel like I was supposed to be in there because I wasn't a jock. I still hated the jocks. I thought they were stupid. And but there I was in their weight room.
Look at this kid.
Oh, nice.
This is sister.
Are there other musicians that you can think of that are kind of inspirational to you, who are kind of have some kind of secret fitness routine that fuels them?
Me and Adam Torres used to make ourselves do push-ups every time the van stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And Jonathan from Shearwater, we would do that too. Push-ups. Every time the van stops, you have to do 30 push-ups or whatever.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It would just wake your heart up. You could certainly feel like it would slow the process of going into a coma. It would pull you back from slipping into a van coma, which is somewhat inevitable on tour no matter what.
It's a lot of cyclists.
A lot of cyclists, like people who love
like the
bikes.
Polankas cycle, right?
Oh, yeah, they do.
And
David Byrne loves
Tom Washburn.
bike riding.
David Byrne.
David Byrne rides bikes. Black Flag used to travel around like with weights and a weight bench. And Henry Rollins would pump iron on tour that way.
I never thought about it.
Yeah, I kind of I like the idea of this podcast, and I wish that there were more. I wish more of everybody were aware of the amazing benefits of exercise.
I mean, one thing that we haven't really talked about is just like so many of the musicians that come to music as a kind of necessary outlet, a necessary way of just dealing with the world. And the less healthy ways of doing that, right, are just turning to substances or alcohol, looking to numb the pain. It's so awesome that both of you are doing this 6-7 days a week. And
it's got to be fun or you won't do it. Fun is really underrated medicine. Like in Chinese medicine, classic texts, like the main medicine, the way that you make the liver happy. And the liver is like a very hard-working organ. It's an endocrine organ. It's a digestive organ. It's in our medicine. It's how you deal with stress and frustration. So it gets a workout every day. The main way that you heal that is through play, through joy. Like joy can heal anything. And so, if you're just going to the gym and it's a total grind, I don't think that's going to get you there 5 days a week. I don't think that's going to give you what you're looking for.
Yeah. It can't just be like, oh, this hurts and is boring. It does hurt, and fair enough about the boring.
Don't you think like 9 times out of 10, it's just the soundtrack? Like I feel like if the right song is on, I can do anything.
Yeah.
I could run away from
a
murderer in a movie with a big knife if the right song was on. And if the wrong song was on, I'm not getting away.
What comes to mind for you when you think of like the perfect workout music?
For me, it's rap music.
Peg's answer to most things is rap music.
But in the classes, most of the time, it's like really upbeat, sort of disco-esque music, or like techno.
So what rap are you thinking, Peg?
You know, anything. I'm old and I'm from Houston. So, a lot of the old Houston rap is very, very good. What did I hear yesterday? Rubber Band Man. Remember that by T.I.?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know it. I don't
No.
know much about rap music.
Yeah. Thor always says there's too many words.
There's too many words. I like Fat Tony.
Yeah, but if you're my age and you're from Houston, you like rap music.
Yeah.
We have a lightning round for you.
Uh-oh.
The first question is cardio or strength training?
Cardio.
It's rough. I'm going to go strength training because you get cardio in your strength training.
And you get strength in your cardio training.
Also true. We refuse to answer this question.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're balancing each other out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Protein shake or protein bar?
I'm going to go bar.
I'm going to go shake because I always need a vehicle to get a lot of bananas in me.
It's a banana delivery
It's a
system.
banana delivery system.
Cottage cheese or Greek yogurt?
Yogurt.
Same.
Do you usually eat or not eat before a workout?
Not right before.
Mm-mm.
I made a terrible mistake yesterday and I had tuna salad at like 4:30 and then like high intensity exercise at 6:30.
Yeah, it has to be enough. Has to be enough before the workout that it's going to be okay.
What exercise do you imagine yourself doing in hell?
In hell.
Awesome.
Wait, is this hell?
What-
So bike riding. If there's bikes in hell, I hope,
Oh, no, he's not saying like what is going to make hell better. He's like, what's the worst exercise that they would
yeah.
force you to
yeah,
do?
Oh,
no,
that
what
what they would
makes you
force
feel like
you to-
you're in hell?
But if he was in hell, bicycles would cheer him up.
Yeah.
So,
I like that. I like that approach, though. Yeah, like, what am I going to be cheered up by?
Uh-huh.
So what exercise to me feels like hell?
yeah.
Mm,
In a way, running does, but I love it also.
yeah.
I think maybe mountain climbing. That looks so scary.
What?
You know, like those guys who do this.
The free solo.
Yeah.
That looks fun though.
Oh. Remember we watched that TV show? You said it. They seemed crazy.
Yes, they
Anyway.
did seem crazy.
Yeah. What's yours?
Like, what do you hate the most, Sebastian?
A split squat, maybe. Anything where, like, I'm going to be off balance and kind of
Yeah.
like it's awkward. And then I just feel like there's probably one way to do it and I'm not getting it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
What exercise says heaven to you?
bike riding. Because you're air cooled, even if it's 100 degrees, you've got this nice breeze because you're moving.
It's nice.
Hmm.
Walking the dogs
Yeah.
or gangster rap community aerobics class.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. It's been so fun talking to you guys.
Sebastian, that was so fun.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Sebastian. That was so good to hang out with you.
Secretly Sporty was created and is produced by Sebastian Langdell and Austin Rackless. It's hosted by me, Sebastian Langdell, edited by Austin Rackless and Andy Rattinger. Our theme music is composed by Catherine Joy. Cover art by Ben Wiseman, represented by Illustration Division Inc. Interstitial music by Odonian from the EP Shimmer. This outro song you're listening to right now is I Told You They Were Lying by Thor Friends. Special thanks to Travis Weller and Liam Billingham. Please note that we are not medical professionals nor personal trainers. Not all exercises are suitable for everyone. Always consult a doctor before starting any new exercise routine or nutritional program. The views expressed in this show are those of the show's creators or the guests, and not those of any other entity or institution.